big
Mm,
moments where I recognized inner patterns and things like that. So like that's one piece. And then in a relationship I had, I was striving for like kind of like this idealistic relationship, right? Where that's where I came up with the app for couples. And it was more of like kind of putting those two together is what it kind of came down to, just to put it simple. But I did pretty much ditch the idea of the couples app. It was called Shared Sanctuary, where basically it's like a planning app where you can plan out like a spiritual path with your partner, like have a long-term vision together, back into like weekly um, sessions that you commit to together, and then from there it transitioned to a life fulfillment. Like basically the vision grew from there to like, let's not just do couples, let's do everybody. I had professionals, individuals, and couples. And then I got into the program and I was like, okay, let's slim this down. And then that's when the hyper niche came up. And then, well, the perfectionism piece, honestly, actually, that's probably the story you're after, is like, I was actually using my first prototype, which was a chat GPT, like custom GPT, right?
mm-hmm.
And I was using my own product essentially in the early stages, and it asked me, it was AI, it asked me like pick one of your characters like right now that you identify with that you're gonna put like sponsor on your landing page. And I was like stuck in indecision. I was like, I can't. And
Yeah.
then I just picked one. I was like, picked the perfectionist ally. And so like it forced me, like my own original app forced me into the path that I'm on
That's really
right.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot of people, we see entrepreneurs, they build an app or they come into the program or they apply and they're like, "Hey, we want to build this app to automate, roofing businesses, cleaning businesses, plumbing businesses." And I always react and I'm like, "Hey, you realize like each one of those categories you just named is like a multi-billion dollar market and you could build one
Yeah.
product around that one thing." And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's just like it happens to everyone. It happens to me too. Like in my app Closure Academy, like I was optimizing for like many different categories in my app. And then I noticed
Yeah.
that there was one niche that I was getting traction for, which was the automotive niche. It's happening right now. And then I just
Yeah.
decided to go all in on that. And now we're just doing like marketing and focusing on just that niche. So it's really
Hmm.
cool what happens when you kind of start big and then you realize that like, hey, this one category could be an entire market on its own. So that's a
Yeah.
realization that I feel like every entrepreneur has. It's just a matter of when and how. So it's cool that you had that realization then. And perfectionism is a huge category of people, and um,
Yeah.
perfectionism can be your enemy, and it can also be the reason you are, an overachiever or a high achiever.
Yeah.
But it can be your enemy, and there's so many things that go on in between. I have the exact opposite problem. Like I have the mindset of like, let's just launch something, let's just get it done to the point
Hmm.
where it's enough. And then like that leads me to not putting in like the best effort. And that's why I have a great team, because my team holds me accountable. If I were to do things on my own, things would not get done like as high quality as they have been, because I like to have a team that holds me accountable. So there's so many things
Yeah.
that come out of perfectionism. And so I'm super excited to see like how you digitize this and the problem that you solve. So can
I
you
think you're
confirm?
gonna find it's similar to Closer Academy. I mean, I'm sure
Oh, really?
it's different because you're for salespeople. This is for more of a mental health, right?
Mm,
But it's scenario based using AI. So
got
very
it.
very similar concept.
Cool. Do you see the app on your screen on your side?
I do.
Okay, cool. I'd love for you to walk me through it. So I have it pulled up. Just kind of tell me what to do, and we'll go through it one step at a time.
Okay, sounds good.
So I have here pulled up the home screen. You have perfect was the goal. Let's go beyond it.
Yeah.
I think that's super mysterious and spooky. Makes me want to click on the next slide. So I'll
Thanks.
go ahead and
Thanks.
click beyond ready. Beautiful. So that's your welcome screen. This is your sign up screen. Looks really good. I like how it's designed. So I'm going to sign in with Google. And awesome. So I'm in your onboarding flow. So you want to walk me through what's happening here?
Yeah. Pretty simple, just onboarding. There's just 3 pages here. Just to basically, I've got 5 different categories of perfectionists.
Ooh, looks like I backed out of it too early.
Yeah, you can get it back into. Okay.
Should I just log back in?
Yeah, actually, I think it should take you back to the. No,
Uh,
but you can just click on the puzzle at the bottom, puzzle
okay.
piece, and then I put a backdoor in just because
No, that's smart. That's smart. Where's
the
the
puzzle
puzzle
piece at
piece?
the bottom.
Okay, cool.
Okay, or I guess yeah, I don't know how it got there, but anyways, yeah. So I segmented perfectionism just initially, like took a you know segmentation for 5 different categories. So if you go to the next screen, the top box across all 3 screens is like one type of perfectionist, just so I can kind of segment as people go through this, and I build up more customers and a community as well. So
Yeah, I noticed the Closer Academy design here. That's nice.
I did actually copy a little of that. Yes.
That's good. That's good. No, I love it. I love when y'all use our resources. Great.
Yeah.
So setting boundaries, making decisions, finishing things, knowing what I want. I think you asked the right questions here. You make it, you're like selling the audience on, what problem they have themselves. I call this the self-selling onboarding flow. I think you did it really well. I see a lot of builders execute it different ways, but like you literally said, I take on too much and can't say no. I've done everything right, but something feels off. As a user, when I
Hmm.
read this, I'm admitting to myself that I have a problem. And this is the
Hmm.
biggest thing in like mobile mobile app funnel building is like making the audience admit they have a problem. This will also kick off the people who don't have this problem because this app won't help them. And so you're going to get
Yeah.
people who, really resonate with the app. So I think you did an absolutely perfect job executing like the self-selling onboarding flow. Like you're literally selling to the person why they need this app. So nice job there. What holds you back
Thanks.
the most?
Yeah, we'll hold you back. Hmm.
Fear of making the wrong choice, needing everything to be perfect, feeling guilty for putting myself first, not feeling excited anymore, being afraid to start over. I love like these extra quotes and like I'm actually doing the whole Dreams into Apps 4.0 soft launch phase content. And actually, one of the worksheets that I put together is like coming up with sentences that your target market says to themselves, right? For example, at Ambitious Labs, one of the sentences that our builders say, like you, is I have an idea for an app, maybe not you, but like I have an idea for an app. I don't want to hire a developer on Upwork. Or hey, I hired a developer on Upwork. It didn't go my way. Or hey, I have an idea for an app and I don't know where to start. I don't trust this overseas developer on Upwork, right? Those are like very
Mm.
detailed sentences that I know our end market says. And so I'm requiring like all the builders in the new program to like go figure out those sentences that your target market says that only like you should know them at such a deep level that you know the words that come out of their mouth. And so I think you did that exactly right here, where you're like, what if I regret it? I don't want to release something flawed. Other people's needs come first. I should be happy, but I'm not. What if I lose something that I've built? Right? Like this is really gonna not just talk to the target audience, but it's really gonna like scream at them thinking that and getting them to think that wow, this app really gets me. It knows something about me that even I didn't know. And we call this
Yeah.
in the world of go to market your unique insight. um, I just wanted to put that out there because that
Mm.
concept is fresh in my head right now.
Nice. Yeah. Um, that's the
We'll get to
goal
the
with the
next one.
app. You'll see as you go get into like the homepage and the scenarios, but like they're meant to be like as true to life as they can be. And I'm building the scenarios alongside my community right now. So when I
Mm,
invite somebody to my community via Reddit, I'm asking people what is their struggle with perfectionism, and if it's not in one of the categories, which it almost never is, which is
mm,
the interesting thing about perfectionism is it's so broad. Like somebody's biggest struggle might not be on the radar at all for anybody else or for
mm.
somebody else. So then
You
I'm
did a good.
making new scenarios specific for all my new like beta users, essentially.
That makes sense. You also did a solid job here with copywriting. I see a lot of our builders like try to sell the features. You
Mm,
are actually selling the outcomes and the benefits here. Um,
thanks. I think this page right here could use a little bit of less words. That's the feedback I think I got. I think you might have given me that feedback. I'm not sure yet, but
I don't think it's too bad. Like
that'll
I
come
think
out in V2.
a big heading. Well, I haven't seen your paywall or anything yet, so I won't comment too
Yeah.
much. But I think like center aligning this stuff, making the bullets a little bit bigger for people to see, like retrains your brain, builds confidence,
Hmm.
uh, grow faster in 10 minutes a day. Like those
Yeah.
are those are probably ideas for how you can simplify, but overall looks solid.
Thank you.
Go to the next page.
I think now it should bring up. This is basically this page will be always available, but basically I'm sliding people straight into a scenario. I'm bypassing the homepage. I want them, I don't want them to get overwhelmed at the homepage because there's a lot of content. Like it's like a library, right? So yeah, this is just basically like more getting to know you. But these can also be edited later. Great. Now we're into a scenario right away. Like I said, it drops you right in. Yep, and it just gives you a summary. So you can see those statements there at the bottom. I keep tweaking and never ship. Those are the statements that the user selected. Um, yeah, and I think the feedback I'm getting from beta testers is like people are like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Like it might have been a too quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a loading
Mm.
screen or any like anything. You
Oh
know what I
yeah, that
mean?
makes sense. That
People
makes
are
sense.
just like, "Whoa, what's going on now?"
Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. But we're actually we actually did the opposite at Closure Academy, and I'll explain to you what's happening now. So at Closure Academy, we had our onboarding flow where we asked 4 or 5 questions. We had a loading screen, and then we just tossed the user onto the paywall. And I
Yeah.
got conversions. We got 7.69%, so just shy of 8% of people to go from sign up to paying. But
Hmm.
there were almost like, I don't know, 70 or 80 people who went through the sign up flow. So we felt that it could have been a lot higher. So our new
Yeah.
hypothesis is maybe during the onboarding flow, the user's not seeing enough value. All they see is 4 questions, just like kind of how you had those 4 questions. But there was no like
Yeah.
loading screen that put them into a flow where they could maybe start their first call or they could see the value that the app provided. So we're actually about to go this route that you're going, because we
Oh
started
yeah,
a
you
lot
said
smaller,
that. That's
and now
right.
we're about to like introduce like a longer onboarding flow, uh, a loading screen, like a personalized page that says like, "Hey, here is what you selected. Here's how Closure Academy can help you. Here are some challenges or scenarios." And since you have scenarios here, maybe you could show like the scenarios that are personalized to the user. That will make them feel like, "Oh, those scenarios are pretty cool. I would pay for those." Then when they click
Yeah.
is when
Hmm.
you build the intent. You maybe ask for the payment, or you throw them right in here.
That's
So
a great idea.
we're actually heading your way, and I think you're heading our way. So you're like, we're both
Yeah.
about to like converge. That makes sense.
Love it.
Yep. Cool. I'll hit let's do this. So this is going to take me through what I like to call the core app loop, right? Like this is what your app is good at doing. Like this is what I'm going to
Hmm.
come back to your app to do every day, right?
And it's funny you said loop. Maybe I missed the memo somewhere in your videos about that core loop, or maybe it just stuck in my mind and I forgot where I got it from. But that was like my like mantra literally throughout building this app. And I was like, I got sidetracked. Honestly, I pulled so much out of this app, this MVP, but I was like, wait, it's not part of the core loop. I was like, gotta go. And like
Nice.
that's yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
are in Dreams and Apps 4.0. We're going to be madly obsessed with the concept of onboarding in a core loop. I wasn't
Mm,
as obsessed with it in Dreams and Apps 2.0 and 3.0, so you haven't probably seen a lot of it in the program itself. But going forward,
okay.
the core app loop is one of the most critical parts of the program.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So nice job that you figured that one out. But a core loop, for those who don't know in the audience, is like the one set of tasks that your users will come back to your app to do every day, right? And you want to design your app in
Mm.
a way where somebody logs on, they can go through a flow, they can get value, and then they come back to the home page and they can do it all over again, or they come back to a different page where it kind of loops them again and again. That's what the best apps do. Apps are not like spider webs of flows where you can go this way and this way and this way. And like I see some builders like have a home screen with like 30 different features that take you down 30 different paths. Like Steve
Yeah,
Jobs
yeah,
said it,
yeah.
like simple scales, complex fails. The more complex your app is, you won't be able to measure it, you won't be able to know where your users are going, and you won't be able to keep them coming back because you can't tweak the one thing that's coming making them come back. So enough on that. Let's go through this challenge here. So I have somewhere inside, you already know growth isn't about fixing yourself, it's about handling your own wisdom. What do you need today? Pick a path and let's explore. And then I can select a challenge here. How does this
Yeah, I was going to default it to one, but I haven't done that yet. So there's going to be like one that I choose as like the first one.
Okay.
Right now it's open, but yeah.
Are you using AI? Is this an AI integrated app?
It is, and I wanted to build like you. I wanted to build AI on the front, like for the personalization. I wanted to build it on the back for insights, but
Okay,
I was like, whoa, I can't do all of this at once. Like, let's just stay right in the middle.
sure.
Like, I can always expand out left, right.
Hmm. What
But
AI did
yeah,
you integrate?
so go ahead.
What AI service did you integrate? Is it OpenAI? Is it
It
Gemini?
is OpenAI, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, OpenAI using BuildShip. I'm not sure what's going on there,
Ooh,
but looks like you've got some. Oh, I guess there's an error. Um,
can I
just
retract them?
press something went wrong, and it'll go back to the home screen and
Gotcha.
press the start challenge again.
Yo, this home screen looks so cool. You got like a quote up top. You got GoPro. Sorry, I'm getting slightly distracted, but this home screen looks great.
Thanks. I mean, I took a lot of inspiration from your app, honestly. Once you posted
I can
the
tell, but
Closer Academy.
I'm so happy to see that. Like you got the whole
Yeah,
paywall bar here. You got start challenge. You did a perfect job of like modeling our core loop system where you have this home screen with all your challenges, and then you come back, you start a challenge, and you just go through that loop. So nice work. Tell me what I should do now.
nice. Go to start challenge. You might have you pressed. Go back to the. Oh, we might have an error here. Can you go back to the puzzle button at the bottom with the context? Can you get rid of that comma in 10,000? I think it's. I haven't cleaned up the. I,
Oh,
I've gotten some complaints about this already. So yeah. Okay. I think we're good now. Something's not right there either. I don't know why it's bringing you back there, but
that's okay. I like when we run into errors on like
totally.
on demos because it show. Oh, my dog just screamed. I'm not sure if you heard that, but I like when we run into errors because it shows that like you have full control over it. It's because you are learning. Well, it's because the way that Flutterflow works is that you're actually writing code under the hood. So there's a lot of small points of failure that could go wrong,
Yeah.
but you also know where to fix it because you're the one who's built every single thing about this app. Like you know exactly what happens when somebody clicks a certain button. If you're
Yeah.
using another no code tool or you had a developer build it for you, you wouldn't know what went wrong right there. But you, like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
probably know
Yeah.
exactly in the back of your mind, oh, that's because I have a comma in this section because I'm taking this input from here and putting it in this input and then sending it to this API. And that's where this API could go wrong. Like, I
Yeah.
know how your brain works because you're a scientist. Like, you know in the back of your head what exactly is going on when somebody just taps a specific button. And that's like the superpower that I think all of our builders develop because they can quickly, identify problems in their app. Just want to make that very clear too, because a lot of builders who come to us, they don't realize the level of detail in the skill set that you're going to be acquiring.
Yeah. So basically, what this has under the hood is like each. Go ahead and start a scenario, and you'll see. But basically, each one of these scenarios. Oh,
Hmm. Still doesn't like me.
yeah. I don't know. Something must be wrong with the input.
No worries. You want me to create a new account or something?
Just clear that stuff out. Just to see if that's the issue. I don't know. It hasn't been doing this for. Well, I've gotten it like two people complained about this API issues. So
And where are you getting your first users from? Like you keep talking about these people that you're beta testing with. Where are you getting these
yeah,
people from?
yeah. Reddit mostly. Yeah,
Oh,
like
really?
I'm really big on the perfectionism Reddit. Somebody reached out to me early on actually, and he's been like my main tester, and he's actually going to be helping me. I'm starting a 3 week program in April,
Okay.
and I'm going to continue testing. I don't feel like it's done because it's like a mental health app. It's got to do it right because
Hmm.
otherwise, what's the point? You know, um, and everybody's so different that
Yeah,
I haven't like landed on whether it's just an app or if it's a program plus app or the monetization strategy is still kind of definitely I'm still figuring
I
that
got you.
these out.
But that's cool. You've been using Reddit to kind of build your early adopters and attract your first customers. You're building alongside people. It sounds like you're not just trying to like build something and then wait for people to come. So you're doing it right.
Yeah, yeah, I've got probably about 15 something like that users
That's
or like
incredible.
15, people in the Discord community, I should say. I've got a ton of other people that don't have Discord. I'm just keeping up with in DMs,
Got you.
just a little bit, kind of scattered, but it's what you
Yeah.
got to do, right?
It looks like I got
Okay.
a challenge pulled up here.
Yeah, yeah. So this is this disrupt the pattern. So basically, I have a template in the background for AI. It's AI based. It's in Firebase, the database. It sends all of the code to build chip, and it's all parameterized based on the user's choices here. So this is now it's like a choose your own adventure, right?
Yeah.
I like had a much bigger vision where I was making custom scenarios each time, and I was like, um, it's going to be hard for me to test the results because I don't know each user is going to have a different experience,
Yeah.
and so you're probably running into the same thing with your app. But um, so yeah, I basically had to nail down some of the scenarios. So this is one. I can't remember. Disrupt the pattern. Overthinking is the focus for this one. But
Disrupt the
basically, all of the challenges are 3 steps, and the first one is just multiple choice. The last 2 are multiple choice and free form. If you wanted to write instead, the audio play button there. Yeah, go ahead. Do you have your volume up?
I think it's because I'm plugged into my computer and I'm sharing like my audio through QuickTime, so maybe it doesn't like that. But
Okay.
no worries.
It's a great voice I got from 11 Labs.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So you've connected to the 11 Labs API as well, and you built the voice assistant feature.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, long term, the vision is to make this a little bit more less text and more like images and
Yeah.
like more prominent voice. But I was like, you know what,
Well,
this is good for right.
I really believe in the voice interface these days. Like,
Mm,
voice is the next gen interface. And, like, I don't think the
yeah,
world knows enough about it, but, like, I believe in 5 years from now, Siri and these voice assistants are going to have the biggest role in our lives that we've ever seen. Um,
yeah,
I think it's important to start thinking about how do you create like voice interfaces. It's right now a little bit weird for users to be interacting with voice. It's still a little bit uncomfortable just to be talking to like your phone. And but I do
mhm.
think that over time the market is going to adapt. So my advice is to keep working on that voice assistant stuff. But
Cool.
nice.
Yeah, so basically all the challenges are 3 questions long, or 3 interactive questions, and then followed by like a. Well, once we get there, I'll explain. Yeah, basically it's running you through like a real world scenario where you can
Mm,
kind of put yourself as the main character, and make the choices. It's gonna use the input that you selected initially, and it, it's gonna speak to you, right? Because it's AI, and so it's gonna update the this text is obviously dynamic.
yeah. Very cool. It's like a role play. Yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
I like how you I like how you've
You
created those
did
like
get off track, but it's supposed to like basically it's got keywords that it's keying into in the text to be like yeah, just like something went wrong. Normally there's just a done button. That's the
yeah.
end part, but some of the keyword stuff is finicky.
Got you. And is so I just clicked on GoPro because it seems like you want to charge money to use this app.
Yeah.
You got a small paywall here, or no, this is a disclaimer.
Yeah, this is the benefits. So I'm still working on the paywall. Like this was going to be it. It was just going to be like buttons at the bottom,
Got it.
like radio buttons, like monthly or annual, right? But
Hmm.
right now I haven't actually hooked up the paywall yet, so this is as far as it goes. Um,
I
I'm
see.
not sure I love that scrolling thing. It's just something I found. I was like, let me
No
try it.
worries. But this is
But yeah,
awesome.
and that's just
Nice
like a
work.
little history page.
This is your summary. Like, is this like your like a summary of your insights? Like, what does this mean here?
Yeah, so basically what I'm going to be doing is it's not going to be for the first release, but I'm going to look at the user's selections
Hmm.
throughout this different scenarios. I've
Hmm.
already got it saved off to a certain table where I can just quickly review or have AI review it, and also extract like the commitment. I don't know if you noticed, like
Oh,
the last screen was like, how are you going to make this real, or like what are you going to bring to life, or just some type of real life statement, and then kind of collect that and kind of put it all here for accountability.
that makes perfect sense. Very cool. And then here's where you set your context. I remember doing that. And then this is like your challenge bot. Got it. Nice, man.
Yeah, yeah. So the goal is to basically have the app, like I'm still working on the monetization strategy, but I'm planning to do like the spotlight up top is like two one or two new scenarios a week, just for free users. um I know you're not a big proponent of like free content, so yeah, that's where I'm like, but I think I'm a little bit, I'm not, my hypothesis is probably not proved yet, is where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why I've kind of got the doors open a little bit wider, in terms of that, so I can basically make sure I'm providing value, so that I can get the feedback that I
No, I
need.
think there's a difference between like, okay, you're still in your like testing phase, and that's
Yeah.
obviously like that's okay. We want to figure out which market we want to like obsess over building a business around. So like
Hmm.
I think during the testing phase, it's okay to be like, I wouldn't even say free. I would say like it's okay to be uh building technology for a specific group
Yeah.
of people to figure out like, okay, which one do I want to go after? But then where I get very passionate is like, okay, you've launched a product, and then your first reaction is, okay, I'm going to give, free access for 14 days or free access for 21 days. And I hear
Yeah.
these like absurdly long like trial periods, and I'm like, yo, like we should not be giving out 2 week trials or 3 week trials. Like we need to get people to put their skin in the game. We need
Yeah.
that the entrepreneur to feel some pressure. Like, hey, somebody's paid me. I need to make sure that I get more features in there, more value, and talk to them so that I can keep them retained next month. For example, at Closer Academy, we have, I think, 6 paying customers. I am spamming these people with emails saying, hey, please respond to me. This isn't an automated message. Like, I would love to get on a call with you and figure out, what you want to see in the app.
Yeah. Yeah.
We only have a few challenges, just like you. And if I don't add more challenges and like listen to these people, they're going to just finish the 4 or 5 challenges that I have in the app, and they're not going to come back the next month. So that's where I get
Yeah.
passionate. It's like we need to, what I like to say is create pressure for ourselves as entrepreneurs. Like even at
Mhm.
Ambitious Labs, when I first started this business 3 years ago, we didn't even have the platform done. We didn't even have the program done. I literally had the first 3 phases done, and we launched it. And then we put the pressure on myself and my team to go build the rest of the program like while we had our customers come in the door. Um, and so it's all about just like creating that healthy pressure for you, but obviously not over promising to your customers, but
Yeah.
putting yourself in a position where you feel motivated by your customers. I did a small lesson yesterday too about like how to go from like being outside the market to inside the market. And so now you went from, in just a matter of a few months, like somebody who had an idea for this to now you are in the market, in these Reddit threads, talking to real
Yeah.
people, and you are, getting real feedback. So,
Yeah, it's
uh,
pretty cool. Like, I feel like I'm like the perfectionist, like, face now, because
how
I'm
are
like,
you? That's cool.
well, like, just not like overall, of course, but like, I'm getting a lot of people like really like, I don't know, just engaged in the Discord community and on Reddit, like, just really like, um, I don't think there's like it's an underserved market, right? There isn't something that's like, hey, let's all come together and like fix this, right? There's self-help books, but there's nothing that's like really actionable, and that's what I'm trying to do. I actually reached out to a prominent researcher, Thomas Curran, who wrote like a book on perfectionism. Had him actually review the app, and
Oh,
he
wow.
downloaded it. He downloaded it and gave me some feedback, which was really cool. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. He's really passionate about perfection, like perfection, socially prescribed perfectionism, which is
Mm,
affecting young people with social media and stuff like that. It's like
mm.
comparison and stuff like that. Um, so yeah.
I want to show something real quick just because we brought it up, but like these are some slides that I was working on for a soft launch module. But essentially, it's like, okay, you 12 weeks ago or you 16 weeks ago was like, this was probably that Reddit thread market, right? All these people who were talking about perfectionism.
Hmm.
And then there was like you with an idea over here. But like fast forward 12 weeks later, you go through the program, and now this is you. Like you were in the market with them. You were literally inside Reddit, And what I think is hilarious, and the reason I want to bring this up is because this is literally you right now. Like you are in that Reddit thread, probably talking about your app,
Yeah,
giving value about perfectionism, and now you have this app out there, and you are in the market with them. You're not the
totally. Yeah.
little cat outside the market anymore.
I like that. It's very similar because like it kind of clicked for me the other day in my when somebody like signed up for found my Discord. I don't know how. Like, I reached out to her and I asked her how. It was Reddit. I just she found it on a post, but she like engaged. She went through every channel that I had and engaged, and I was like, I feel like really like you know like hand in hand, right, with the market, which felt like a good signal, right? It's
Yeah,
not like you talk about like proving your hypothesis. I don't haven't proven the hypothesis yet, but I feel like I'm able to find people, which
absolutely.
is and engage with them. So
Nice, Rowan. You're absolutely
yeah,
crushing it, man. Nice work here.
thanks, man.
I- I'd love to wrap this up by asking you a couple, honest questions about the program. When you first, were thinking about joining, kind of what was going through your head? Were you skeptical? It sounds like you love taking courses and you like to learn. So maybe this
Mm.
was something that was a little bit more natural for you. But would love to learn what were you thinking before you pulled the trigger and joined the program?
Yeah. Like I said, I think I spent a couple weeks like building like literally a platform. Like I had DigitalOcean, I had like Terraform, like Python, just like tons and tons of like software engineering, right? Like and I was like I was working with a business coach and he was like, do you want to make money or do you want to like learn technology? Because right, you
Mm,
can't choose both. Like he's like you're designing a boot camp for yourself, and I was like, I know, I need to. And he's like, no you don't. And so like that's kind of where I found you guys. I started to like I sent a few feeler emails out to people on Upwork, and I think that's probably how you found me, but or like how I got connected with you.
oh, got you.
Instagram,
Yeah. Maybe you tapped on an ad. I'm not sure. Or maybe you found us on YouTube.
Instagram, yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you must have been hit with a. Maybe you try to hire a developer on Upwork and it didn't go your way, or maybe you don't want to pay
yeah,
10,000,
yeah, yeah,
15,000. That's pretty cool. So you resonated with that message. That's great.
yeah. Yep.
And then like, I guess like, what were your expectations when you joined? Like, did you expect, more help, less help? Was it just the right amount? I'd love to learn your honest feedback about how much support you felt like you got.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little bit up and down, like, but I felt really supported during the building phase, which was most critical. I actually took like a week, 3 week pause during the build phase, because I was having like dreams every night about the app, and I was just like really overwhelmed, like. But that's because, like I said, I spent a month or two before I started the program still working on it, so I kind of had run out of steam. So that's no discredit like to this program is I thought was a great length, or at least for me. Um,
And
yeah,
you were working with
and
Tuche, right?
actually,
Like,
I'm
Tuche
sorry.
was Tuche was your
Tuche,
assigned
yeah,
coach,
Tuche
right?
was great. She was great. I mean, all the coaches were great. It was really great to have feedback directly in the Discord channel, like the one-on-one channel,
Mm,
like engaging with like Michael, especially he like helped me a ton. Like would send me screenshots, like here's where you need to do this, that, or the other, or do it right, make the change for me, and like explain how, so I'm not like left in the dark later,
yeah.
which is great.
Yeah, the accelerator program has been the most popular, and we've kind of evolved the program as well. The price has also
Yeah,
definitely increased, but we're really excited about the accelerator because it feels like that's like where like that's like my dream product for entrepreneurs. Like, okay, you have a team, you have a build coach assigned to you, like Tuche, who's with you every step of the way. She's
mhm.
holding you accountable. She's giving you the harsh reality sometimes too. Like, hey, you don't need to build that
Yeah.
feature right now. Um, and
Well,
that's
so that's the thing. Touche, well, she wouldn't. I'm sure she wouldn't care that I said this, but she identified as a perfectionist as well, and I obviously was able to share with her that I am one as well, and so she was able to give me the extra kind of accountability that I needed, especially as a perfectionist.
mm,
So that was the interesting part of building this app, was that I was dealing with my own, like, I'm not going to call it disease, but like my own like behavioral trait as I'm
sure.
going through this. And so it almost gives me more insight, because I didn't identify as a perfectionist before I started this program.
Yeah, that's the one cool thing about the community is that there's so many people in there now. and like everyone's product that they're working on is like resonating with somebody in the community, and like somebody in the community is like a good early adopter, or like they have connections in that space. The other
Yeah.
day we had, somebody who was building an app for motorcycles, on a live call, and then somebody else in there was previously a VP of a motorcycle company, and they got connected, and now they're figuring out
Yeah.
how to do business together. So um, yeah,
Yeah.
we have a
There's
question.
some perfectionists in the community as well. They're in my Discord.
Yeah. I've actually been streaming this live on YouTube, and there's been a couple questions.
Oh, nice.
Somebody did say, how long did it take you from the moment you joined Ambitious Labs to the app being live in the store,
Um,
or at
well,
least up till today? Right.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like live, but yeah, 12 weeks. The program has been actually 12 weeks, but I took 3 weeks off. Yeah, so
Okay.
15 total.
15 total. And
Hmm.
I guess when you took 3 weeks off, was that like a family thing? Was it just personal? What was the 3 weeks?
It was literally just to I like closed my computer and didn't open it for 3 weeks. Like I know
I need
it
to do
sounds
that. I need
crazy,
to learn
but
how to do that.
I was going through my own perfectionist loops, and I literally actually during the first week of that time off, um I redesigned the app like twice,
Oh,
just
wow.
just talking with like ChatGPT, like of what I should do, and then I literally was like, no, you're not throwing the whole app away. That's a perfectionist thing. Like I was
Mm,
like, you're not seeing your own app is like trying to solve that, and like you're blind to it. It's crazy.
yeah.
But I'm glad that I had that space to be like, okay, hold on. Don't throw it in the trash.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I don't see any other questions. I guess like what was your motivation to
Yeah.
keep going is what someone else is asking. Was there any point in time where you felt
Hmm.
like you should just give up and just do something else?
Um, that's a great question. I mean, having early people in Reddit, like from Reddit into my Discord community, like knowing that people were already like keeping me accountable or already like engaging and making me like so this wasn't just about making money for me. This is about like having fulfillment
Mm,
and having like a bigger purpose in life, right? Like I have
right.
a tech job, like I get paid well. It's not about that. It's more about that other piece. And
Got
so
you.
having people on the other end of the line kind of pulling tugging at me or just like, you know,
So you work in tech, and so what do you do? I
yeah.
never asked you.
Oh, I'm a data engineer. Well, like
Okay.
I do reporting, analytics, but mostly like Python, JSON, stuff like that. Yeah.
Got you. Got you. So we see this a lot, like, or at least have always talked about it, but like people who work tech jobs, they're probably working on some component of a larger tech product, and many of them probably have their own ideas for software products. So like you
Mm-hmm.
fell into that bucket of people.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't have to mess with any DevOps because I just was like in like software engineering. Like I was trying to teach myself software engineering before I came to this program. I was
Uh,
like, oh, such a sigh of relief that like everything was kind of no code, low code.
mm.
Build chip. I actually learned Node.js while I was doing this, but like
Oh, nice. Because you were.
just enough to get by. It's not like I'm sitting there writing code, but who writes code anyways these days? Like we're using AI mostly. So
It's funny you say that. I literally was doing a webinar last
yeah,
night, and I'm telling everyone like you're gonna learn enough about code to be dangerous. Like
yeah, you can do
you
vibe
don't need
coding. Yeah,
exactly. You don't need to be able to write code literally keyword like letter by letter, but like I want you to be able to look at it and be able to make sense of it and know enough to be what I say dangerous.
yeah.
So,
I actually built early on in this program. I built like a prototype using AI. Like it was outside of the program.
oh
I just
wow.
went off on my own, like built a prototype, and I ran into that problem where I was like, when I had to make a change, I was like, I don't know how to make it. I'm like, it was so frustrating because I was like so tied to AI. I was like, the layout was wrong, and I would like tell it what to do, and then it would change three other things, and I'm like, now you got to go back and fix those things. I was like, I hate this. I can't just go and like if I know where to make the layout change, I could be like, oh, I'm just going to change the size, whatever.
Yeah,
So
that makes
that's
sense.
what's nice. Yep.
No, very cool, man. Awesome. Well, hey, congratulations. We're gonna obviously be in touch in the community. We're gonna make sure that you launch all the way through. And yeah, hopefully we can
Cool.
push some traffic. We're gonna get you on the Instagram so that we can get some traffic from the Instagram. And then yeah,
Cool,
hopefully
man.
we We get to see it all the way through. And by the time this video goes live, hopefully your app is live. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description so people can download your app. So if there's any perfectionists out there, this app is absolutely for you. Check it out. And I'll also leave a way for you to contact Rowan in case you want to learn more about him. But thank you, Rowan. Nice job,
Cool.
man.
Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Awesome. That was a lot of fun. That went way longer than 25 minutes because I was having a lot of fun with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm very wordy as well. So, but no, that
No,
was fun. Appreciate it.
there are some people who I interview and I'm like looking at the time and I'm like, oh shit, it's only been 2 minutes.